Welcome to satya'ssparkles. And today's session, I'm sure, is about a very fascinating subject. Yes, it is all about enhancing your memory power sooner than you think possible. As you know, this is a very complex subject, yet I'll try to explain in simple way with stunning visuals. I humbly request you to watch the video till the end to get the comprehensive view of the content. Let me start with an anecdote. A student of aeronautic engineering went to buy a parachute for training purpose. He selected one of the parachutes and asked the shopkeeper whether it is a good one. The shopkeeper said, "Sir, we always supply quality parachutes. Just in case it doesn't open in the air when you jump, don't worry, I'll give you a free replacement." Humor apart, human mind is like a parachute. Its utility value is known, only it opens up. So please be open minded so that you'll be receptive for easy assimilation of the concepts and the memory enhancing tools for your own benefit. The first part deals with the basic understanding about our brain and certain concepts about memory mechanism. And the second and the last part deals with the tools and techniques to enhance your memory practically. So don't keep this session. So stay tuned till the end of this video. One patient complained to the doctor that he always forgets three things in life. Doctor asked him, "What are they?" He said, "Sir, I always forget people's names and faces." Doctor asked him, "What is the third one that he often forgets?" The patient said, "That is what I don't remember, doctor." So, joke apart, how many of you are forgetful? Be honest. If yes, congrats. Because millions of people spend sleepless nights even after using sleeping pills for not being able to sleep or forget the past. Imagine that you are not able to forget all that you ate in the past 1 week or all the trained piano numbers in the past 1 year or all that you dreamt in the past 1 week. You will be utterly confused and confounded, I'm sure. Let us remember one thing: forgetting is God's gift to all of us. Why, for God's sake, this video then? The problem on our hand is we forget what we otherwise want to remember. As a student, you are required to remember some names and dates in the history, equations of math and physics, and quotations in literature, formulae in chemistry, and for some sales and marketing people, competitors' turnover and other statistics. For others, statutory sections and case laws, etc. Let us look at some common scenarios in our life: forgetting to take the wallet, flight ticket, or unable to recall some familiar faces. And many a time, it is an embarrassing situation if you forget something very important. The first good news is that you are not alone. From Bill Clinton to Bin Laden, student to samsara to sannyasi, and those involved in cooking and gardening and dieting to dating, everyone is concerned about memory lapse, sometime, if not always. Before we get to know the second good news, let's take a look at this clipping.
First test. Can chimpanzees count from 1 to 9 in the right order in return for a peanut or other tasty reward? Yes, they can. Now, if you just flash the 9 numerals for a moment, then cover them, can a chimpanzee remember where each numeral was and still get the order they were in right? Yes, for another tasty treat. This chimp got this wrong once. but thought nothing of it and, undaunted, went right back to getting them all correct. Now, if you flash just some of the 9 numerals, then cover them, can a chimp A remember where each was?
Do you think that this monkey does this feed by nature? No. The monkey has been trained to recall the number so fast, even better than human. And the second good news is that you can improve your memory power drastically. If a monkey can do this, we can surely try. And this is entirely in our control. Let's see how. So, what we'll dwell deeply towards memory enhancement today. The basic principles governing the memory, the incredible power of subconscious mind, methods for effective recall, and more importantly, practical tools and techniques. Now, to start with, let's understand about our brain in general and its relation with memory in particular. We have approximately 80 billion nerve cells called neurons, which are capable of storing unlimited data. And this capacity in real life is called memory. Our brain weighs 1.5 kgs, and you will be amazed to know that even the world's all telephonic exchanges cannot even compete with our brain's capability. Sometimes it's a nightmarish experience if you are unable to recall. Is it a problem for you alone or everybody's? Can you do something about it? Let us explore. Firstly, there are 3 basic factors governing memory. First one, the motive. Memory increases in proportion to our motives. Special interest always influences our memory. In other words, what is not impressed cannot be expressed. And the second basic factor is motivation plus repetition results in effective remembering. Frequency matters. Frequent memory use increases memory retention. Examples are some telephone numbers, names of our classmates or friends or colleagues. Like physical muscles, if you don't use, you lose. Second most important thing for us to understand is there are 4 prerequisites. The first one is interest. Things are remembered due to interest. I have a friend whose interest is not only to avoid paying the principal, but his principal also is to avoid paying interest. Though pun intended, this is true with our life as well. Our mind is not available for things where we have no interest at all. A person who is not interested in cricket is least bothered to know or remember the scores or achievements of popular cricketers. And the second prerequisite is observation. Before we get into the further details, let's take this quiz. If you have got less score, don't worry. You have a great scope to learn from this video. Observation is all about the ability to sense problems, anomalies, issues, feelings, shapes, and sounds, and the list. It's about focus on situations in which these are not too obvious. Let me tell you an anecdote here. A professor in surgery was taking a class for medical students. He said that just to become a successful surgeon, one should have two essential qualities. One is that in the operation theater, the surgeon should not have a sense of nausea, that is, the sense of vomiting or disgusting situation. And the second one is a strong observational skill to monitor closely the readings on the machine about the vital parameters. He took out a glass of foul smelling liquid and dipped his finger and licked it. And he asked the students to do the same thing. All the students licked the liquid, though they didn't like it. The professor said, "Well done, students. You passed in the first test." And nobody vomited. But you miserably failed in the second test because you all failed to observe that the finger I dipped was not the finger I licked. So the next question that comes to our mind is why we are not observers by nature. Do you observe anything strange in this group photograph? Well, if you have observed the human face tattoo on the knees of the girl standing in the middle of the picture, great, well done. Another creative exercise. What is something different in this picture? Many quickly say that the tooth is missing in the man's face, but that is more obvious. Have you observed that one eyebrow in the man's face is missing? You are seeing three statues of warriors sitting on horses. Can you see some significant difference in each of these three statues? If you find that one leg of the horse is up in the air, as you see in the first picture on the left, the injured warrior died after the battle was over. And the middle one, if you find both the legs of the horse are up in the air, the warrior died while fighting in the battle. And if you find both the legs of the horse are on the ground, the warrior died naturally. So, next time, if you happen to see such statues on the road or museum, try to observe these details. Recall a person whom you know very well. Do you find something strange about the person's mannerisms, body language, physical traits, etc.? Or when you are in a hospital, just try to see what a different thing that you are able to see, which are not obvious to others. When you visit a new place, maybe a restaurant, try to look at something which is different. When you watch a movie, rewind and see a few clippings without the background score. Then focus on dialogues alone. Then focus only on the body language of the actors. Try to recall your dreams and visualize the characters and the event that you saw as sharp as possible. Develop and follow your own mindfulness techniques that are aligned with your interests and hobbies to enhance observational skill. The third prerequisite is understanding. You don't remember what you don't understand the context. So, ask leading and thoughtful questions to people if you don't understand the content and the context fully. Try to figure out and validate your assumptions and doubts through Google or ChatGPT. I spend at least 15 to 30 minutes browsing through ChatGPT every day. And the fourth prerequisite is revision. You will recall that you used to memorize multiplication tables by rote memory. You would have noticed that you used to remember the lyrics of a song or some stuff that got to know through reading or listening when you think about it repeatedly. So keep revising, reviewing, and revisiting your important learnings that you want to remember or recall repeatedly. Sharing your thoughts, opinions, and learnings frequently with others will surely improve your memory for sure. We will now try to understand why we forget in the first place. Firstly, lack of attention. You are seeing the online distractors across generations. Social media addiction is the real culprit for lack of attention. This also is one of the causes for ADHD, which is attention deficit hyperactivity disorder. This graph shows the alarming and steady increase of ADHD in the United States children. I am not surprised that this would be the same in the rest of the globe as well. The second reason why we forget many times is lapse of time. Memory trace fades not only due to time, but also our mind is occupied with heavy load of information, sometimes with unnecessary data or messages. The third reason why we uh, forget quite often is called repression. Sometimes in our mind, there may be a conflict between what we wish to experience and what we wish not to recall, such as traumatic experiences. Selective amnesia patients suffer due to this anomaly. We have completed the first part about the basic understanding about our brain and certain concepts about memory mechanism. Now, in the second part, we'll know about some practical and fascinating tools and techniques to enhance our memory. So, don't skip this very important session as I appeal to you to see the rest of the video till the end. It would be so embarrassing when we find difficulty in recalling a name and face of a person. Here are the tips. Be interested in the person in the first place. Ask the name and spelling if necessary. Associate the name with other things. Use mnemonics. We'll come to know about mnemonics later. And relate odd features, mannerisms, style of walking, speaking, etc. And keep mentioning the name frequently during the conversation. These tips will really help you to recall a person's face or name when you happen to see that person next time. Now we'll learn to focus on and retain the learning while studying. Tips while studying. Bird's eye view. Watch the middle portion of the page. Break into paragraphs with subheading, etc. Underline, highlight, and bullet points. Vocalize reading. Use memory tips. Be a teacher for you. Storytelling techniques. This is a great tool and fun oriented too. If I ask you to memorize and recall these 10 unrelated words, how much time will it take? 10 minutes or more? Can you do it in 1 minute? Is it possible? Yes, it is. With a simple yet a powerful technique that's called story technique. Let us take a demo now. So you are going to a forest. In the forest, there's a marriage function happening, and in the marriage, they give you a mango. And when you try to break the mango with a stone, you find a gold coin in that. Then you throw the gold coin in the air, then that hits the bird, and the blood falls on your shirt, and you go to river to wash the shirt. At the time, you see tomatoes floating on the river. So now you'll be able to recall all these 10 birds very quickly, forward and backward, within just 1 minute. It is possible. You can use this technique to remember things in sequence. For example, the points for discussion or public speech without referring to your note. The trick is to associate or relate each point sequentially. More funnier the association, more easier to recall. Now we'll get into next method. It's called pig memory system. Similar way, you can also recall quite a many words, points, concepts, names, even places, etc., using pegging memory systems. Let us know one by one. In a group of people, in one category, such as God, standardize the names and memorize to store in your mind permanently. As I explained earlier, associated associate the things that you want to remember with the relevant number and the name. You can also do a similar one doing this way. You can use places, sounds, or shapes as you see on the screen to associate with the points and messages that you like to recall when necessary. If you want, you can even pause this screen for some time to understand the concept. Memorize efficiently. In our life, we may have to remember many things such as physical laws, definitions, technical terms, concepts, and more for storing in our mind permanently. While repetition is the key to achieve this, just to make memorizing more easier, we can develop this skill of rote learning through a simple technique. Before going to bed, try to recall the activities that you carried out during the day in sequence as far as possible, including the food menu. Don't try to be 100% perfect. Just by doing this, you can train your mind to be in the present state for better focus and understanding. And I do this every night habitually. What you are now seeing on the screen is what's called mnemonics. Mnemonics are memory aids or techniques that help people remember information more effectively. Examples: acronyms, abbreviations, rhymes, visualization techniques, or creating association between new information and the existing knowledge. An acronym is a term that is formed from the initial letters of some longer name and it is pronounced differently than the expanded one. Let us see some examples. For remembering the planets, you can use the examples as you see on the screen. And there are other examples like NASA, Scuba, AIDS, Radar, Laser, Smart, UNICEF, SIM, all that. Then here are some of the commonly used abbreviations. This may be quite familiar to you. So you can form your own acronyms and abbreviations the way that you can understand and remember. And self hypnosis is something which is very powerful, which I do it very regularly. You can read these affirmations 5 times every day on waking up. You can frame your affirmations in your own words. Remember to follow the guidelines. That is, each affirmation should be positive and it should be purely personal and it should be in present tense and be definitely practical. For learning this powerful technique, see my video titled How to Practice Self Hypnosis. And lastly but not leastly, use mind maps. In mind map, I always capture the key messages from a book or points for discussion in a meeting or for delivering a public speech. What you see on the screen is the mind map that I created while writing the draft script for this video. And if you want, you can just pause the screen for a few minutes for a quick recap. So we have come to the end of our video. Let's not forget, friends, that overall healthy body and relaxed mind is critical for memory retention and recall. Don't be too obsessive about memory. Our aim is not to become memory freaks. The video just is aimed at improving our quality of life. The mantra is practice, practice, practice. After all smooth seas have never produced a skillful sailor. Thanks for watching and being with me. Hope you have enjoyed this video as much I have enjoyed making this video. All the very best uh, for a memorable and enjoyable life.